When billionaire businessman Adrian Wolfe decided to put his glamorous girlfriend Vanessa through the ultimate test, he never imagined that a quiet maid would be the one to unravel everything he believed in. Adrian, a widower who had recently adopted abandoned triplets, had always felt Vanessa cared more for his wealth than for him, or the babies, and the doubt gnawed at him every night as he watched her glide effortlessly through his mansion in diamonds and red lipstick, barely glancing at the infants who depended on him. So one morning, pretending he had to travel urgently for a business crisis, Adrian kissed her lightly on the cheek, left the mansion, and secretly doubled back, hiding in his private office behind a soundproof door that allowed him to see everything through a discreet security feed. Only the nanny, a gentle young woman named Amelia, and the longtime maid, Rosa, knew the truth. Adrian wanted to see how Vanessa would behave with the triplets when the cameras weren't supposed to be watching, when she believed she had full power, full control, and full access to the millionaire lifestyle she openly flaunted on social media. For the first hour, Vanessa was perfectly polite, too polite, smiling at Amelia while scrolling through her phone. But the moment Amelia stepped away to warm bottles, Vanessa's true nature surfaced like a monster freed from its cage. "Ugh, why do you brats always cry?" she snapped, tugging at her robe, annoyed that their coos disrupted her live stream. One baby began to whimper, and Vanessa rolled her eyes so dramatically it would have been comedic if it weren't so cruel. She picked up the baby awkwardly, not to comfort him, but to silence him, bouncing him aggressively in her arms while screeching, "Stop crying." "I said stop." The baby cried harder. Vanessa slammed him back into the crib with a frustrated exhale. Hidden in his office, Adrian stood frozen, gripping the desk until his knuckles turned white. This wasn't the woman she pretended to be. This wasn't the woman he had almost proposed to. But before he could storm out, Amelia re-entered the room, her face instantly tightening as she saw tears running down the baby's cheeks. She lifted him gently and whispered soft lullabies that melted the tension in the air. Vanessa immediately switched back to her sugary tone, waving her phone and pretending she had done nothing wrong, even insisting she had everything under control. Amelia stayed silent, but her eyes betrayed her fear, fear for the children, fear for the future, fear for the truth Adrian was about to face. But the next moments would belong not to her, but to Rosa, the elderly maid who had worked in the mansion for nearly 20 years, who had loved Adrian's late wife like her own daughter, and who knew when a stranger threatened the peace of the home. Rosa had watched Vanessa for months, watched her ignore the babies, snap at Amelia, lie about helping, fake affection only when Adrian walked into the room. And today, Rosa snapped. She marched toward Vanessa, her voice trembling with controlled fury, saying, "I have served in this house longer than you have worn those fake lashes. And I will not let you harm these children. Not today. Not ever." Vanessa turned red and screamed that Rosa would be fired as soon as Adrian came home. Rosa took a deep breath, walked directly to Adrian's hidden office, knocked once, and whispered through the door, "Sir, I think it's time." And the moment Adrian stepped out, Vanessa's face drained of color. "Hey Adrian. You didn't leave," she stuttered, trying to piece together a fake smile that fell apart instantly. He didn't shout. He didn't curse. He simply walked to the triplets, kissed each of their tiny foreheads, then turned to Vanessa with a calmness that sent chills through the entire room. "I trusted you," he said softly. "I gave you a chance to show me who you really were. And thanks to Rosa, I finally know." Vanessa tried to cry, fake tears, dramatic trembling, but Adrian wasn't the same man he had been a day before. "Pack your things," he said. "My children need love, not performance." Vanessa stormed out, slamming the door, muttering that she never wanted those stupid babies anyway. And the moment her car screeched away from the mansion gates, Adrian turned to Rosa and Amelia, two women who had protected his family more than he had realized. Amelia held the babies close, her eyes still wet from the shock of the confrontation. "Sir, I wasn't sure if I should interfere," she said, voice trembling. But Adrian stepped closer and placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "You did everything right," he whispered. "You have always done everything right. You were the one who stayed. You were the one who cared. Amelia lowered her gaze, unable to hold back her emotion. Rosa, standing beside them, let out a relieved sigh and muttered, "Children deserve people who love them. Not people who love money." Adrian agreed silently. That evening, the mansion felt different, not colder, but warmer, safer, finally free of the tension Vanessa had created. The babies giggled as Amelia played with them on the rug, and for the first time since adopting them, Adrian felt hope settling into his heart instead of doubt. As he watched Amelia cradle the triplets lovingly, he realized the test he had set for someone else ended up revealing the true worth of the people already in his life. And sometimes, the family you protect ends up protecting you right back. Amelia looked up at him, cheeks flushed, and whispered, "Sir, will everything be okay now?" Adrian smiled, a genuine, grateful smile. "Yes," he said. "Because now, the right people are in this home." And from that day on, this test, this painful, unexpected test, became the beginning of a new chapter for all of them, a chapter built on truth, loyalty, and love. Viewers, if this emotional story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful stories like this. Your support helps us bring more inspiring content every week.